Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports. So today we're going to be talking about my new TFL Enduro tire for my ONEWHEEL GT. Here we go. I look a little grungy. I just got home from the ride today. All right, everyone. So if you've been following along with the channel for a while, you know that I had this TFL Enduro for quite a while, but it was actually out of round. Now, because I am still learning the board and the tire, I didn't really realize that there was anything wrong with the tire until I started being able to go faster and faster. Once I exceeded about 17 miles an hour on the trails at certain points, I started noticing a weird noise and I started noticing a weird little vibration in the board. After a little bit more of riding, that's when I actually investigated the tire and I realized that the tire was actually out of round, and on one little spot there was a hump there and it was actually rubbing the battery box. I forwarded the information to the Float Life. They immediately took care of me. It was an absolutely awesome experience, and I love when companies definitely step up to the plate and do what's right and take care of the customer, especially when there's something wrong with their product. So now I am doing this first look at the TFL Enduro because I feel now this tire is the exact way that they meant for it to be. And now I'm actually experiencing the tire the way it should have been. And here we go. We just got new Enduro put on. So far, I ripped a little bit of trails, and I gotta say, it feels amazing. Absolutely amazing so far. So let's rip a little bit more trails here, and let's see how it does. Woo! It's feeling good. First thing that got me is feels a lot like the XR as far as stability goes. Feels super stable, but it's also nimble at the same time. It's like it's the balance I wanted coming from a pint as my first board. Still feels nimble, doesn't feel as locked in as like the XR did. Still wants to turn, which is awesome, but you do have more stability, I feel, than the stock GT tire. And it is soft. It's just soaking up a lot of these little ruts. I'm running right now at 12.5 PSI. I do have the TFL Lifesavers because I am around 230 pounds. So if I come down on these rims, I'm gonna do some damage. So yeah, one huge thing that I'm noticing is that this tire not only is super stable, but it's actually soaking up a lot of the bumps. Now I am using Ignite lift pads, 4 mil on the back, 2 mil on the front. And even then, I had the Ignite lift pads on with my stock tire for a little bit, and
some rough areas, you still get that chatter. You still get that vibration just a little bit. It does help. It does help big time. But even then, to take it to a whole nother level of absorption, this soft tire really does noticeably absorb a lot of the sharpness of the bumps. Now, if you're going over like rhythm sections or anything like that, your legs are still obviously going to move. It's not a suspension, but it is absorbing a lot of the sharpness I noticed from a lot of the bumps. So it does make it feel like a lot more buttery, a lot more smooth. Now again, this is coming from someone with, you know, this is my first board sport. I've always wanted to skateboard. I have very limited experience with snowboarding. I mean, maybe only going 5 times total. But yeah, this is awesome. This tire does make a huge difference. I was kind of wondering, you know, coming from someone that weighs as much as I do, you know, what difference would it really make, especially at, you know, my weight level? It makes a huge difference. The stability's there, but when you turn in, that sidewall does fold, it does roll over just enough that it makes it feel still really responsive, but you still feel controlled, which is nice. It's nice to feel that control. Oh, the trails are beautiful today. Nice little bump there. It does give you a lot of confidence too, that stability. It does make you feel like you want to push it a little bit more, or maybe carve a little bit more, because you're not really feeling like the board is going to do anything unpredictable. So that could be that could be a double-edged sword for someone of my skill level. So I'm not blasting 20 miles an hour. I'm maybe going 14, 15 miles an hour right now on the trails, which is still fast. Faster than I was going with my XR. But oh yeah, big time. Going up this hill, it's normally, you normally almost feel like you're getting bucked off from all those little ruts there. And it was much smoother, much more doable. Love this section here. It's so flowy. It's beautiful. I did take a spell earlier today, overthinking a certain section that's really off camber and going way too slow. But that's why I wear all the safety gear. Whew.
All right, hopefully you all enjoyed that riding footage. Hopefully it makes sense. And if anyone has any more questions, definitely leave them in the comment box below. I'm going to be riding with this tire more and more. Now I'm going to be raising that PSI a little bit. I want to get it back to about 14, 15 PSI and see how I like it there, because that's really how the board was given back to me at 15 PSI, and it felt great. I lowered it down just to see what it's like, and I absolutely love it, but I'm going to bump it up just to see if there's any differences or anything that I notice while riding it on the board, especially being that I am a larger individual on these one wheels. I'm 230 pounds, 6 feet tall. So I think I could get a little bit more out of it, especially if I'm at a higher PSI, maybe even be safer for the rims, even though I'm running the Lifesavers on there, the TFL Lifesavers. So anyway, everyone, if you have any questions, comments, or any tips that I could take from this, definitely leave them in the comment box below. I am still learning and I'm still in love with this hobby. Everyone, stay safe, stay happy. I'll catch you all next time.